Meetings Act with adequate notice provided as follows. Notice filed in the Courier Post, March 30th, 2022, and filed with the Burlington County Times on March 30th, 2022. May I, let's have a moment of silence, please. Okay, Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Heiser, may I ask you to do the roll call, please?
Dr. Alberti.
Here.
Mrs. Arcaro Burns.
Present.
Mrs. Fallows Macaluso.
Here.
Mrs. Makopoulos.
Here.
Ms. Romano.
Here.
Mr. Villanueva. Dr. Snyder.
Here.
Mr. Weeks.
Present.
Thank you.
Okay, so for this section, this will be the shortest president's remarks you'll probably ever hear out of me. Welcome, everybody. We're here in this special meeting, as everybody's aware, to choose a candidate to fill the vacancy that was created when Jack resigned, just when Jack resigned. So we will go through a process. We're going to be in the training room of the lab right over here. And when we get there, we'll do that in executive session. We'll have the interviews. We'll return to the public for nominations and voting. All right. So may I have a motion to move to executive session, please?
So moved. Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, abstentions? Okay, that said, to executive session. We'll be back Part of the process.
Are we good?
It'll be in the minutes.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. So, I first of all want to echo Mick's comment about gratitude for folks putting their name in. It isn't always the easiest thing to put yourself out there, and certainly in times that our school district has been going through, all the more reason why it is a challenging ask. And there are certainly communities that do everything from looking under rocks for people who will sign up for this job to, quite frankly, like having months and months of struggle to fill vacancies. In addition, I would say, our lengthy deliberation is because, speaking for myself, I will say, I think everyone who applied would have been an excellent candidate. This would have been a really quick process if we could have easily separated, and every single person brought tremendous value, commitment, experience to the opportunity to serve this community through a school board position. I would encourage everyone to consider putting in a petition to run in the normal election in November, which I think is due sometime around the middle to late July period. And I think I would be happy to have any one of the candidates that applied to be serving on this committee. That being said, it is my nomination is to nominate Claudine Leon Morano to be a member of this school board. I think Claudine has been present at through good times and bad. I think her perspective as an advocate is something that I think this board has expressed an interest and desire in moving ourselves forward. How we advocate for this community, not just within the community, but in the state, in other contexts. I thought that that was a great strength, not to mention experience and with her current roles in dealing with things, team player. Like I said, already, pushing with some things in observing the board in the district and having that perspective. We did look at, or I will say, I looked at the idea of complementary experiences and perspectives, and where we feel moving the district and the board forward, and I enthusiastically would put forward Claudine's name.
So, yeah, I was going to say, before anybody else nominates, do we have a second for
I'll
that?
second that.
Okay, any other nominations?
I would like to nominate Caitlin Berman to fill the vacant seat. I value her experience as an educator and her work experience in diverse educational settings. I also value all of her community involvement and engagement. I know that she knows the system based on her experience as an educator. She knows the roles of the super versus the board and the board. I believe she has the time and dedication that's necessary to serve on this board. And I believe she has the willingness to represent all members of our community.
Thank you. Is there a second? Okay. Hearing none. We just have one nomination on the floor. Is there another nomination?
I'll try to be as articulate as the past two. I move to nominate David Vespikian. As I mentioned, David ran in the recent election. He lost by a very small margin. He's put in the work. And I do believe that as a native of Morristown, and his skill set that he brings is very diverse. It's a different perspective in the field that he comes from. And I do believe that some of the things he talked about with respect to collaboration and teamwork and respect for the process and wanting to see this town continue to move in the right direction, I think he would be a great asset to the board. And I think, again, that he deserves it based on the fact that he ran and lost by a very small margin just recently.
Second,
I'll second that nomination.
any other nominations? Okay. Then I will call for a vote. We'll start with the first nomination for Claudine. Go ahead. So can I have a roll call vote, please?
Yep, this roll call vote is for the nomination for Claudine Leon. Dr. Alberti,
Yes.
Mrs. Arcaro Burns,
No.
Mrs. Fowles Macaluso. Mrs. McCopolis,
No.
Ms. Romano.
Yes.
Mr. Villanueva,
Yes.
Dr. Snyder,
Yes.
Mr. Weeks.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. So we will welcome Ms. Moreno to the board, but we'll have to talk with Mr. Heiser. There's a process that you'll need to go through. And so once we get that finished, we'll have the swearing in. But again, thank you to everybody who put their name forward and went through this process. We definitely appreciate that. And I'll echo the comments of Dr. Alberti. I hope everybody considers running again in the next election, because we do need dedicated, committed people who understand the needs of the board, the role of the board, and the needs of our community for people who are dedicated to serving. So, all right. So this, I just want to clarify what we have here. Do we need to do this one too? Or we?
For the second.
No. I'm saying this, so we just move on to public
That's all
comment.
good.
That's all good. Okay, just because it was written differently. All right, so now moving on, we will have our public comment. We only have the one public comment for this meeting. So it is available for people who want to comment on the agenda items or non-agenda items. So I'll request a motion to open the floor for public comment.
So moved.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed, abstentions? Okay. All right, the floor is open. Please come to the mic. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. Again, as usual, please observe the rules we've laid out before, not addressing individual board members, and also understand that it's not necessarily a question and answer session right now. And if you do have questions, please avail yourself of one of the other processes. We have a form you can send in questions, and also email anybody on the board or the superintendent. So with that, the mic is open for public comment. Oh, and I'm sorry, please state your name and address or street if you don't want to be specific about this.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. It's nice to be here in person. I know many of you from the Zoom call. Doug Mounty, 141 Pleasant Valley Avenue, Morristown. I just wanted to comment about the process that took place tonight. We're here at whatever time it is. And I know that Dr. Alberti said that she wanted to thank all the candidates for putting their names out there, but I don't know their names, and members of the public don't know their names. So this was a very transparent, non-transparent process from my perspective. The board met in secret in the training room through the glass windows that we could see all the applicants walking in and out. I won't disclose them here, but is there a reason why we're not making this a public forum where we as the public, whom the new board members represent, are able to know who they are or to hear any of the deliberations that went on? It's almost 9 o'clock. We've been here for 2 hours now. So we don't know who applied. We don't know what they had to offer. We don't know any discussion that this board took into account. And now we're here and we just see the finished sausage. So, you know, I don't have a problem with, you know, Claudine by any means. It's just, I think it would be better if it was done in the light of day, and should have been an open process. Thanks.
Thanks for your comment. If you would like to follow up your comment again, like as I pointed out, questions, we don't answer questions here, but certainly if you'd like to follow up with an email or filling out the online form, we'd be happy to take your question there. Okay, any other comments? All right, here. Okay.
I have one question.
Okay.
And you don't answer.
And please just start with your name and address, please.
Well, don't worry about it. It's not awful. Just want to stick it out. Yeah. Go. Bill Blanche, 325 Springhouse Lane, Morristown, New Jersey. Just. Quick question. And we don't do answers, right? But when did we become government schools instead of public schools? That's my biggest question. And anybody on the board that has kids would have that same question, right? We've become government schools. Stinks. We're getting in line. We're not protecting our kids anymore. We're not doing right by our kids anymore. The books in these schools stink. The public library stinks. When we're trying to teach a kid how to identify at 5 years old, stinks. We gotta change, and we gotta be better. And I think we can, right? I think this board can be better. So we have to do it, because I'm telling you right now, indoctrinating these kids, thinking masks are normal, to have them socially distance. If it wasn't for my son, he would still be wearing a mask in his classroom. His teacher wanted him to wear a mask in the classroom. I'm not going to call out names. It's already been settled. And quite frankly, she's a really good teacher. But if it wasn't for my kid to put his hand up and say, I don't want to wear a mask in group settings, after March 7th, he would have still been in a mask. Not acceptable. We can do better. Right? Dr. Volpe? Agree? You can agree to that. Come on.
We asked, please don't address any
All right.
individual person. Thank you.
Come, all right, with that. Come on. I've been here long enough. Come on. I mean, you guys know me by now. The bottom line is, I think we can do better for our children, and we have to, right? We can't, like these books that, like, and you'll see it, like in various school districts throughout the state of New Jersey, there are books trying to teach my kids about sexuality when they don't have to be given that until I decide to give that to them, right? So government schools, see you. Let's get back to public schools. I want to be the parent, public school, where we actually have a choice for our children. And I think we can get there, right? I think we can get there. If you guys actually open up and start thinking about the kids first, and not about how we get money given to us into this district. You know, we accept a stipend, so put the kids in masks. Let's set that aside and start thinking about the kids first. It's time that we actually take our public school district. What's that? Thanks for keeping time. Yeah, good job. Good job. I
Thank you.
wish you did a better job on the board. Anyway, so let's keep in perspective the kids. That's my concept tonight. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the comment.
Thanks for the microphone.
Any other public comment? Okay. Not seeing or hearing anybody approaching, I will entertain a motion to close public comment.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, abstentions? All right. So I then will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second. All right. All in favor? Aye. Abstentions, opposed? All right. Thank you, everybody. And have a pleasant remainder of your evening. Take care.